Hi guys and welcome to Thrustzone.com. This is Mohit Soni. It's a very exciting vehicle that has come on test today. This is the BMW iX xDrive 50, and as you can see, it is very futuristic, very SUV at the same time, crossover to a very large extent as well. This is BMW's flagship electric vehicle. This will again scale down, and get you more models on the same platform. And as you can see, this car is very futuristic indeed. We've told you all about it in the walk around almost a year ago when we had the xDrive 40 for us for a walk around. So we've told you in great detail what this car is all about. I'm quickly going to run through what is slightly new here and what we've experienced as well. So with the grille, you know the fact that this is a self-healing grille, what BMW likes to call. Even if it has certain scratches which it will be prone to, it will self-heal in a matter of couple of days or weeks. So this grille is going to stay pretty much scratch-free or something like that until unless something humongous happens. So that is fantastic. You've got the camera here, you've got the BMW logo, and here you can feel the washer fluid now, which is very cool, futuristic and nice at the same time. On the side you can see these LED DRLs look great. They've got adaptive lights, almost 600 meters plus of through. You will not be clearly shot taken on a very dark night while riding on the road. These alloy wheels look downright brilliant. They are very impressive. These are 22-inch wheels with run flat tires, so you will have to be careful in our conditions. On the side, very futuristic, less boxy than the SUVs that BMW has been making, but boxy enough to be still called a BMW. After all, it has the blue and white badge on it. You can see there is the color here is quintessential bluish with a hint of grey. You've got this champagne gold running around along with black accents all around. The reason why you see these lights come on and off is because it's got a proximity sensor in the in the key fob that I have here. So this sees that if I'm close or nearby, it automatically unlocks the car. So, and that too also is based on a particular time and sensor. So that's that. You've got the camera built in with the logo, which is again very cool. This car is really cool indeed. That is the boot space, pretty much occupied right now with the spare tire. You can't really see what is below, but there is a good amount of space there, and I think this hinders practicality to a certain extent. But nevertheless, it is going to be very likely a city or intercity car for a lot of people. So you've got these very nice, very sporty looking diffuser aspect here, which is brilliant. Again, these alloy wheels look really good. The champagne gold effect looks quite nice. The vehicle is humongous in size, grabs a lot of attention on the road regardless of wherever you are and whatever you're doing. Those are the charging points on offer. Very different, very cool grab handles. You have to press like this to open up to see that it has pillarless doors, and this is again really impressive. Overall, you've got 360-degree camera, very large wheels and rotors, and yes, that is, as you can see, it locks and unlocks all the time, and again it's on. So that's how the proximity sensor works. You can switch that off as well if you want. Now let's jump into the interior and see how is it like. Stepping inside the BMW's iX rear cabin, as you can see, this all carbon fiber, really impresses you, tells you how sporty this vehicle is intended to be. At the same time, very luxurious too, because you've got very good amount of knee room. Legroom is just about okay as well. The seat is reclined pretty much quite back, so there's going to be a plenty of rest that you can get here. And this is the point where you can mount your accessories. Charging point on offer. You've got AC vents here. Surprisingly not much on the top, because the lights are here and they're here as well. So, and typical BMW style pop-up cup holders are on offer here. You've got these 3 headrests, 3 seat belts. Obviously 5-star safety rating is on offer. These are very critical things that tell you that how safety is taken in consideration, and that is why every time I say about safety when I'm sitting in the back seat. Full AC controls on offer here. You've got your own climate control altogether. You've got a small hook here, as you can see, and under thigh support is okay. You sit a little bit too relaxed at the back. The recline of the seat is quite high. I think that this should be comfortable for a lot of people. This is me sitting behind my own driving position of 5'11", and I think I can be comfortable here for a very long time. Definitely feels very spacious, very airy, nice glass area here as well. So all of this liberates quite a lot of space inside the cabin. What is really impressive is this photochromatic on and off switch for the sunroof. It doesn't have any shade any longer. I'll tell you how that works in a bit. Overall, the rear is very impressive. Clearly, you can easily be chauffeur driven here and be extremely comfortable. Getting inside, you can see What we've explained you earlier as well is beautiful buttons for the seat are now on offer. The lock unlock button is this. If that fails, you have a button here which can open the door, if you can see right here. So it's got a physical door you know, button as well. This is the big highlight. All sustainable materials despite leather. It's been done really well. We've gone in great detail to explain you what that video where how sustainable this cabin is, how most things are made in with recycled materials and still executing very good quality all around. You've got these lovely crystals here as well. The P button has been replaced by the parking brake, so you put press pre and it will go into P, so you already know that. That's the kind of space you're getting here inside, which I think is just about okay. Could have been more, but look at the space here, look at this cup holder here, and all of this is actually quite fixed. In certain cars it is movable. This is to mount your mobile because there is no other space to keep your mobile apart from this, and you've got a similar space over there for the passenger as well. And as you can see, the door pad also is very futuristic, very artistically made, and I think that is really impressive to see. Let's just see the whole host of features that I've explained to you earlier. Wireless Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, My Modes are on offer, and you've got your Wi-Fi connection. You can see a lot of things. Everything has been distinguished here as well within infotainment system and vehicle. Charging, climate control, displays, head-up display, instrument cluster, everything can be customized. Interior, exterior lighting, of course, interior lighting. Ambient, you've got your reading lights as well, which can be controlled from here, which is quite cool. You've got ambient lighting as well, and you've got these defogger buttons here, and that is the button for the glove box, which is surprisingly quite big considering how the dashboard has been designed. Let's just start the car. It starts with this really great noise, which is very futuristic. The steering wheel, of course, is square-ish, and it looks quite nice. Slightly different to hold. You will get some time getting used to, but after that you will really enjoy it. The AC vents are now almost pretty much integrated inside the dashboard, which looks quite clean. You've got these IRVMs, which is automatic, and that is the button for the sunroof, which controls the glass in that way. Let me just yeah, so humongous glass area, and all of this works at just at a touch of a button, so that is really impressive to have. Going back into P, and you can see here all of these shortcut buttons. For the air suspension is here, for your ADAS features are on offer now. Lane departure warning and for forward collision warning are on offer. For the Indian market has been set to late on offer here, which is I think just about right and works quite well in our conditions. So this is how you control the drivetrain, and this is how you control the charging mode, departure plan, AC limit, charging target. All of this can be seen here. So this is a pretty much very detailed aspect. We'll try and show you once we're charging the car in a separate video altogether, because that will quite literally take a lot of time, and there is a lot to be explained as well. This screen, as you can see, downright brilliant. AC controls, navigation, music, all this bar here will always stay like this so that you have direct access to the screen. Some people don't like the screen, I don't know why, but this works just right. If you pay enough attention to it, if you spend some time with it, you will really love it. I've seen this screen in a lot of other cars. This is of course bigger and slightly different. It runs on a different OS, the BMW iDrive 8.5, and that resolves a lot of problems that were earlier, but they were very minute and sort of buggish, like not huge problems. Since day one, this infotainment system has been downright brilliant. You can put it however you want, you can customize however you want it, and the sound system, of course, by Harman Kardon is again downright brilliant as well. You've got electric adjust for the steering wheel, and you've got a wireless charger and charging points here as well. The door pads are quite big enough. Seats have a heat, ventilation, both along with memory on both sides, and as you can see, the buttons they are really praiseworthy yet again. No matter how many times you say, the crystal effect here looks very nice, and the adjustability in the seats is very high indeed, so that is fantastic. The new buttons on the steering wheel also help you navigate through a lot. The instrument cluster you're already familiar with. You put the setting button here. You can choose the head-up display settings, the layout settings, and the content settings of what you want to see. Just pretty much like any other BMW that we've seen earlier, with the new screen setup that is on offer. Just look at how this is mounted. It looks just so cool and very impressive indeed. This mount here is also very, very well done in terms of how it has been designed. The overall cabin experience is downright brilliant in terms of sound, wind, noise, and is very well controlled. I think traffic noise sort of creeps in here much than I anticipated in a car of this price, but then again, this is very, very quiet for a car that has 22-inch wheels, and the overall cabin experience is downright brilliant. It's got a lot of space. It feels very nice and futuristic. That is most important for electric car prospective customers, and I can clearly tell you that is happening here in a very, very, very good manner. Again, endless features on offer, like I've explained you in the earlier videos as well. What we've experienced is how the parking works, and you've got a fantastic 360-degree camera, which is very high quality indeed. And yeah, that's it. Let's get to driving now. So what is the BMW iX50 like to drive? Well, we have driven it extensively, finished almost 500 kilometers of driving it. This is our first time behind the wheel of the iX, because we've seen it earlier in the 40 guys. We did an interior walk around and exterior and told you what the price is, and when it was launched initially. It has taken some time for us to test drive this vehicle, but nevertheless what we're driving here is actually quite brilliant. It is a variant that has swept the market immediately at launch. BMW is sold out for the year almost, and this is actually doing a fantastic job at pushing the already impressive sales that BMW has. This is a 111 kilowatt battery, which is almost 50% more than the 40 version. You get a 635 claimed range in this car. You get 523 bhp over the 320 bhp that was there earlier, and now the torque is almost 770 newton meters of torque. The 0 to 100 run is just around 4.5 seconds, which is downright brilliant. Supercar feel for sure. You will get that behind the wheel. When you accelerate from any given moment, when you give it the full throttle, it will push you back and the vehicle will go ahead. You will also realize that vehicle is very heavy while doing so, and this will give you that old school heavy sports car supercar feel, while it felt heavy and felt powerful at the same time. But here it's an electric vehicle. Most of that weight comes from the batteries, which are really, really heavy. This is a humongous battery pack as well. What I can tell you that the performance is brilliant, and in eco mode it is downright brilliant. The normal mode is good enough. The sport variant will literally push you back in the seat very hard, and the performance is truly amazing. But at the same time, there's a lot of weight. This car weighs above 2.5 tons, and despite all of that, there is a large improvement in range. The range has gone up. In real time, we could see 500 kilometers driving it in and out of Mumbai for a week, and we saw that the battery wasn't going down quite well. We were in B mode, we were in eco mode, we were driving it under 100 kilometers an hour, somewhere 80 kilometers an hour, and somewhere under 120 kilometers an hour. So we did all those speeds, and our weekly culmination here of the results are that the battery, despite it's such a heavy vehicle, it's a big battery, and the economy of this the average economy of the battery range is quite low, despite it is quite heavy. So you can still get 500 kilometers of range. You can reach 550, 600 as well, because we were pushing the car a little bit. We were doing the acceleration runs and all of that for you, and that is why our range dropped a little bit. But most of the time when we were driving it as it should be driven, slightly enthusiastically but under speed limits, and making sure that everything is safe and sound. On the inside, for when it comes to the passengers, it impressed a lot of people. So that's the performance, that's the range. Now the charging can be done at 195 kilowatts. The 40 version can still be charged at 140 kilowatts. So the charging speed has also gone up. But the real problem is in India's charging infrastructure, where you can't find higher capacity chargers in many areas, or in anywhere around the country. All you will see is a lot of 30 kilowatt chargers, a good amount of 60 kilowatt chargers, and absolute rare of anything above 100 or 150. So finding a 195 kilowatt is going to be very difficult. We know that luxury car manufacturers have above 150 at the certain dealerships, at their flagship dealerships. So you can do that, and that's where you can charge this car within an hour. If you're going to use the 60 kilowatt charger, be prepared for 2.5 hours of charging for sure. And given the fact that certain chargers don't deliver full speed even if there is no other cars being charged, this can be this can actually take quite a lot of time at home. Through AC charging it can take over 14 to 18 hours, and that is something that you will have to live with. But if you have a charger which is 60 kilowatt around you, you will get it done under 2 hours, even if your battery drops below 25-30%. So it's just about, okay, it's just that the Indian electric electric charging infrastructure is just not reaching. But BMW has a lot of convenience aspect for its customers, so that will not have a problem by a big margin. In terms of handling, it's a BMW, so it tries to be as sharp as possible with the air suspension that is on offer, but it is still very soft. It has 22-inch wheels as well, so what that does is tries to absolutely reach to the point where BMW is truly known for its sharp handling. But it has resulted in very good ride quality, but not very sharp dynamics. It does feel soft, it does pitch around a little bit, slightly slight amount of body roll more than what you expect from a BMW is here. And it's all because of the weight of the batteries. The weight of the batteries will truly come down from every single manufacturer around the world when you reach the next generation of batteries, which will be at least 50 to 70% lighter. Those are all big numbers which will take a lot of time to materialize and get into cars, and then we'll drive it and tell you about it. So that's still very, very far away. It's because of the batteries that this car is feels a little bit too heavy. It isn't that sharp, but it's comfortable. It is remarkably silent even with 22-inch wheels. The sound from the road, tire and wind noise, and the kind of obviously aerodynamics as well, make sure that this cabin is very, very silent for an EV car with big wheels, tires over bad roads, over really rough roads, and the noise doesn't come inside the cabin. So that is truly, truly spectacular. For 22-inch wheels to make a lot of noise inside the cabin, BMW has very likely insulated it to the very max to get those numbers of decibels to come down. Of course, the brakes are good, they are regenerative. The steering feels just about okay, light and precise, heavy when you want it. Sport mode changes a little bit, it gets a little bit heavier, and it isn't also that sharp that you expect from a BMW. But then again, BMW is also racing towards the comfort aspect with its ICE cars as well, and the EV also has tried very hard to deliver on the dynamics part. But it's just that the batteries and the motors, and they're all really heavy. This is a very humongous battery as well, and we don't know how the 40 version drives, because that has a smaller battery, is much more lighter. But then again, given the reports that we're reading around internationally and nationally, it is something that is very similar to this as well. So overall, 500 kilometers of range, just about enough charging. You got a lot of safety features on offer. You have ADAS that works quite well. Certain aspects of the ADAS are available, certain aspects are not, which I've already explained in the interior part. And it is a package that truly, truly excels. We test drove the car along with some really newbies, who are, their first impression of the luxury car was like, this is absolutely spectacular. And given the fact that BMW has chosen a very sustainable way of making this car inside out as much as possible on the hardware and mechanical side as well, the iX delivers on BMW's every single aspect that they chose out to make this car, and they've delivered that quite well with a very striking exterior, very high quality sustainable interior, good performance, good dynamics, and a price which is slightly higher than we anticipated. It is worth it because after all, it's a BMW. It's an EV, your running costs, your maintenance costs are going to be lower, and there is no denying that the BMW iX is a stellar product. It's doing really well. This variant is going to take things even higher. And speaking of taking things higher, BMW might introduce an even more powerful version in the future, and we can't wait to sample that and tell you about it when it's launched. So stay tuned, stay subscribed, follow us on our channel and our website for everyday updates. Until then, thank you so much for watching, and goodbye.